Cuba, it's me! Welcome to episode 174 of the W.I.L.L.I.W show, which stands for Wrestling is Life. Life is Wrestling. Now, today I wanted to talk about being your own number one fan. That's right, I said it. I'm my biggest fan. Now, I'm not the type of guy that's a bragger, and I like to be humble and I don't like to boast about all my accomplishments, but you know what? I've realized that once in a while it's okay to do that, as long as it's not constant and not over the top and not unbearable. But you know what? You need to give yourself the roses to smell them while you can. Because I find if you don't put yourself out there and give people a chance to praise you, they won't necessarily do it themselves very often. So it's okay to remind them. Now, and I also think if you don't believe in yourself, if you don't think you could be the greatest, then why are you doing not just wrestling, but anything in life? You should be your number one fan. You should feel that you could be the best at it, and why not? And like, for me, I save everything. Well, thanks to my mom too. She saved everything, but every show that I was on, I used to get a ticket stub, or when they had programs, or I'd get one of the posters after the show, and I just put it away because you know what? Who, if I don't remember these things, who is really? And no one's gonna be like, you don't see people every day saying, oh, hey, Cuba, remember that match you had 4 years ago? But if I say, oh, here's a throwback, here's a picture from this match 4 years ago, then everyone might say, hey, I remember that match, oh, that was a good match. But not a lot of the time they'll say it for you. So all I'm saying is, you know what? It's okay to big yourself up once in a while. Because no one else is gonna, that's why I did this whole show. That's why I started the show. I thought, you know what? No one's going to praise me very much. No one's going to say I'm doing a good job or anything. You know what? I'm just going to take it. That's it. I'm taking it. I deserve it. I'm going to take the credit, and I'm very humble still, even on this show. But the credit I feel I do deserve, you know what? I'm just going to take it. Because no one else will do it for you. So you know what? Be your own number one supporter. Be your biggest fan. It's great to love yourself and know that you can do it. Just please don't do it unbearable. And most people are not. Most people are just too humble. They're on the other side. They don't want to praise themselves. They don't want to say, hey, I had the match of the night, or hey, I'm going to do big things, because you don't want to say something if it's not going to be true. But you know what? If you say it enough, then other people start to believe it too. Like, how will you expect anyone to believe in you if you don't believe in yourself? So I just think be your own number one fan. How many wrestlers save things, and have some of their old matches on VCR tape from when they first started, or have old programs or posters? I saved pretty much everything, and I barely do now, but I used to when I first started, because everything I did when I first started was a big deal to me. And a lot of the time it was my first time wrestling in this city, first time wrestling this opponent, first time wrestling for this promotion. Like, those are all big, where now it's just like, oh yeah, I've done it so many times, and I forget about that, but I should still be saving anything. And also back then, internet wasn't so accessible and easy that you almost had to have physical copies of everything. Well, now everyone can just share the memory when it comes up on Facebook, but more people should save. You know, when you go to a show and they have a poster on the sign, well, the show's already over, so they don't need to advertise it anymore. Take a poster home. Give yourself a scrapbook. Why not? Save, like, you know how fans will go to the shows, and the next day on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or whatever, you'll be tagged in a whole bunch of pictures. And I like that, and most of the wrestlers do too. But why not get a couple of those pictures printed? I mean, not even just to sell as 8x10s, just to put in your scrapbook, just to put away to show your grandkids. What if there is no internet in 20 years? Like, we can't. I even think about that for my personal life. Like, I have a cameraman, and I save all his pictures. But what happens if Facebook is no longer, and I have like thousands of pictures saved on him? Like, when he was 1 or 2 or 3 years old, I had all his baby pictures, and I did scrapbooks. But now it's just so easy. It's like, oh, just save them on your phone, save them on Facebook. But really, and what I'm saying about this wrestling too is, why not? How can we rely on all these things? What if all of a sudden something gets bought out by another bigger company and they close this down to try and push this one or something like that? I think people should start being their own biggest fans and saving this stuff, because it is important. And I just want to say, I am my own biggest fan. I love talking about, especially when people ask me, I love talking about my wrestling career or matches I've had or just anything about it. And you know what? I think that's a good thing. And if you don't agree or you do agree, remember on the Willow Show, like or you get a leg drop, comment or you get a clothesline, subscribe or you get a suplex. I'm your host, Elian Habanero. I love wrestling. Cuba.